Canada is at war. For the first time in its history since the War of 1812, Canada is being attacked. No boots on the ground as of yet, but economically, we are being attacked. The dark clouds of fascism have taken over North America, and insanity rules currently. You know, Canadians, we have to band together. We got to start taking care of ourselves, taking care of our country, and recognizing that the United States is not a friend, they are not an ally, they are not our neighbors, they are not going to stand up for us. They want to economically destroy this nation so we are easier for annexation. And that is the truth. You know, it's not the first time the United States has done this. Manifest destiny is something they believe in. It's something they've always believed in, that North America should all be American. You know, the United States has invaded us numerous times in our past. Yes, it's been a while, but they have invaded us. They've invaded us in 1629, 1775, the War of 1812, 1837, and then 1871, where it was probably the last time they actually put boots on the ground in this nation. But then in the 1930s, they also had War Plan Red for an invasion of this country. You know, the Americans don't really treat us great. We can say they do, but anytime you're down there, just think about it. We'll just think about September the 11th. After that happened, and George Bush thanked every country in the world except for Canada. We were the only country not mentioned. And then after that, and there was a big blow up. It was, oh well, because we just thought Canada would be with us, you know, like they would do what we'd want. That's the mentality of the United States, that Canada should just do whatever they want, that we should just follow however they want. They have made, you know, and then even after September 11th, remember, it was blame Canada, and that the terrorists came from Canada, and that we were the ones that had trained their pilots, and it was all our fault. And their movies and TVs were making all these terrorists come in from the Canada to the United States. And then, when we wouldn't go to war with them in Iraq, they hated us again, and they were going to boycott Canadian products. And when we went down, I was in the United States at that time for a visit, and we were treated horribly because we wouldn't back them up. Then we went to Afghanistan, and we were there, and we helped them out for 10 years. Did we get any thanks for that? No. You know, this country needs to band together. I'm not a lover of Trudeau, but the speeches he has said in the last few days have actually been inspiring, and it's nice to see him finally standing up and calling it like it is. The same thing for Madame Jolie and her talk and what she's had to say, and being frank. And for the premiers, such as Doug Ford, who is amazing and is standing up for Canadians, for Ontario. I wished I still lived in that province and had him as my premier. He has been a force to be reckoned with, as have the rest of the premiers. Except it seems for Alberta and Danielle Smith, who wants to still pander to the Americans. You know, that's not how we do it. We need to be shoulder to shoulder, in strength, fix bayonets, and charge ahead. That's what we need to do at this present time. You know, we all have our Benedict Arnolds. I guess Danielle Smith is ours. You know, if you cannot pander, you cannot appease, and you cannot negotiate with a dictator, which is exactly what Trump is. He is a fascist who wants to destroy this country so he can take it over. And we have to realize that. And if he doesn't do it economically, he may do it militarily. Now, you'll laugh and say, oh, that's never going to happen. It would never happen. Did we think that where we are now in this trade war, or the rhetoric against making Canada a 51st state, would ever happen? No. The reality is it could, and we should be prepared for it. And don't count on our allies in Europe. They're not going to help. They don't want to help. They're going to make Canada the next Czechoslovakia. Use us, get rid of us to try and appease the fascist government that has taken over the United States. That's where it's going to be. You know, we were there for them in 2 world wars, but they don't want to help us. I mean, even look at England. The king, our head of state, even though it's ceremonial, should still be speaking out on behalf of Canada and saying, you know, enough with the rhetoric. Same thing with the British Prime Minister when he was asked. His answer was, oh, don't create a rift that doesn't exist. No, of course you don't want anything. You don't want to help Canada. But when the Russians are coming across, are invading Europe, you're definitely going to want Canadian troops there at that point in time. Now, Canada is a nation that doesn't give in. We don't give up. In World War I, 650,000 Canadians fought. 66,000 died. World War II, 1 million. Another 45,000 dead. You know, Korea, we had 26,000 troops in Korea, 500 killed. In Vietnam, 30,000 Canadians went and enlisted in the U.S. Armed Forces. While your people were running up here to avoid the draft, we were going down and enlisting and helping you in your war. And 134 died there. No thanks given to us for that point. You know, the first Gulf War, Canada was there, 4,000 troops. Afghanistan, we had 40,000 troops on a rotation go there with 167 killed. Canada is a nation that when it comes to fighting and standing up for its ideals and standing up against tyranny, will always be there. We will not back down. We will not become the 51st state. You're screwing with the wrong country. And for these militia groups and whatnot that are also talking about taking Canada in a day, come ahead up. Maybe you should go on to the Mohawk reservations or the Micmacs or Algonquins and tell them you're going to take their land in a day. See how well that works out for you. But Canada, stand strong. We have to stand together. This country has never capitulated. We have never lost a war. We have always been free. We need to keep that in mind. The Maple Leaf forever.